everyone, this is Irina Blount from La La Land Crafts. Today is day 8 of our 24 days of Christmas tutorial series. We are doing 12 tutorials on our YouTube channel and then 12 tutorials on our blog from our design team. We have a giveaway of 3 $50 gift certificates to our online store. We're going to pick the winners from the comments at random, so please comment. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. And we're going to announce the winners on December 25th on our blog. We also have a sale, a 20% off sale on all La La Land Crafts products in our online store. The coupon code is Advent2021, and you know where to shop, lalalandcrafts.com. And the coupon code is valid through December 25th, and that's when we're going to announce the winners. Today we are making this vintage-inspired collage card. We are using some of our older dies, some of our newer dies. There are some techniques. I'll show you how to assemble this large clock. And then on the inside we have 2 pockets that you can use for gift cards, for tags, for letters, anything you need to put in here to send to your recipient. I can't wait to show you how I made this card. Let's go ahead and start with the tutorial. I have my layers cut. I have all of my die cutting done. As you can see, we are using a lot of different elements, a lot of different die cuts on this card today. For my layers, for my card, I have Ivory Cardstock at 8.5 by 9 inches, and it's scored at 4.5. Then I have 2 layers of metallic gold cardstock, and this measures 8.25 by 4.25, and then 2 layers of ivory cardstock, 8 by 4. For my die cutting, from metallic gold cardstock, this is the postage stamps die, and this is the largest shape from the die set. With the Poinsettia die, I die cut one of the largest shapes in green, and then a set of 2 in red, and the center I die cut from metallic gold. With the snow globe die, I die cut from gold cardstock. I die cut the full set, and then from ivory cardstock just the base. And the base is actually optional. I'm going to show you another idea in this tutorial, how to use it or how you might be able to use it. I'm actually not going to use it on my card, but I wanted to show you to give you an option. But we are going to use both of these trees. From 2 deer, I die cut just this deer, just the lady deer from chipboard. With the houses die, I die cut the full set from gold metallic cardstock. From winter branches, 2 sets from ivory cardstock. From star wreath, just the larger one, just the larger die from metallic gold cardstock. This label is actually from the pocket, from the tall pocket die. I die cut 2 from ivory. From stitched ribbons die, I die cut 1, the largest shape, from ivory cardstock. This is the left pocket and right pocket dies. They are sold separately in our online store, and I die cut the main shapes, the pocket from ivory cardstock, and then the layers from gold. And the last thing here is our large clock, And for this, I die cut one from chipboard and I left everything inside of this shape. Then I die cut one from soft gold brushed texture, linen texture cardstock, and I removed, as you can see, all of the pieces. And then I die cut one from metallic gold, and we are going to use the pieces, the numbers and the center and everything to do the die inlay. I'll show you during the video. First, on two of my ivory layers, I'm going to give it 1/8 of an inch all the way around. This gives such a nice frame all the way around the layer, and I love doing that. I can't even skip that step on any of the cards I'm making. Since I have my scoring board here, I'm going to grab two of my pockets. When you die cut them, you'll see it has the indication where the folds are. Depending on what kind of cardstock I'm using, sometimes I like to kind of like reinforce those folds. Just go over them. For this card, we're going to start on the inside layer first. I have my ivory and the gold cardstock glued together already. My pockets here, I'm going to fold on the score lines onto the inside. On the smallest flaps right here, we're going to put the tape on the inside, and we're going to go ahead and close them in. We are not going to use this part of it as like for a pocket per se, it's just a fold, but instead of cutting, I decided to fold them in, so it gives the nice folded clean edge there. And then on the longer flaps, we're going to put it on the inside as well. But we are leaving these flaps open for now. These pockets fit the gift card. If you're just using it as a pocket, the gift card goes right in, and you can use either or on your projects or combine them together. They especially look nice on the albums. So for this project, we're going to use them on each side at the bottom, like so. We're going to attach them from the back of the layer. Before we attach them, this is what I wanted to show you. These layers from the snow globe, you can use to glue on between the pockets for another kind of element. And you can mix and match the colors so you can see what you prefer. You can do it this way. These layers are going to be there so you can see how the gold and ivory would look together so pretty, or you can do the other part, so you can do the ivory base and put the gold one on the inside. So just wanted to give you an option since I had them die cut. But for my project, I'm going to use these labels. I'm going to glue while still have it flat and not attached. I'm going to glue the layers on. And then I'm going to glue my labels right on top. I'm going to use this big huge punch by We Are Memory Keepers in 1/8 of an inch hole. I'm just going to punch, line it up where the opening is on my die cut, and punch this through. You can just use a paper piercer or anything like that. Basically, we are making openings for the breads. So the breads are in, and I think it adds just another kind of fun element to this card. I love this vintage inspired look, and it just felt like it needed the breads in there. But you can use something more flat. You can use sequins or pearls or anything like that to your preference. Now it's time to put the pockets on. Look how amazing that looks. I actually have to give credit for this idea to Martha Tucker, to my friend and our design team leader. She uses this element with these two pockets a lot on her projects, especially the albums. You can see Martha's tutorials on her YouTube channel. You can just Google, search for Martha Tucker on YouTube and it will come up. Martha does a lot of tutorials for us as classes as well. We have another one coming up sometimes in January. We'll announce it soon. So you probably saw how I was making it. So I was talking and didn't mention. So I'm pretty much just sliding this layer in all the way. And then from the back, making sure that the folds are aligned and then just removing the tape. And it's so super easy. And closing this. Burnish, burnish. And now we have this amazing layer that you can put letter here, you can put gift cards, you can put some tags, so that has a lot of this gives you a lot of options here. And then to embellish it, we're going to use the smaller house and this Christmas tree. With our clock die cuts, we have quite a few things to do here. First, on the don't lose any little pieces, we'll need them all. First, on the chipboard layer, put a little bit coverage with the gold acrylic paint, and this is from Basics, just acrylic in metallic gold. You can use any brand. This is not very specific. Just anything you might have on hand already or anything you can find available. And I'm going to use my finger. I like using my finger for this part instead of the brush because I want it to be a really slight coverage. And I feel with the brush sometimes I have tendency to overdo it. And I'm just covering on the outside. Pretty much need only these little pieces that are going all the way around. And I'm also going to do the same on the deer. Just really light coverage here. And I'm going into the same direction that seems to work the best. So just up and down. And I just love how this paint looks on chipboard, just creates such vintage effect. Now back to our clock. First I'm going to find the right spot and glue my brushed gold layer onto the chipboard. Then from my metallic gold, I'm going to grab the centerpiece. Then I'm going to get all of these little triangles and put them in. This is most definitely a labor of love, but I just love the effect it creates. And it's very therapeutic, so it's not like we're stressing out making this. You can put liquid glue in a few places at the same time, so that speeds up the process. And then the wax picker definitely helps with this. Then we're going to do the same with the numbers. You can choose to leave them just with the chipboard, then you would just need to add a little bit more paint around it. I decided to put my gold ones in. And that didn't even take that long, and I really do love this effect so much. Now we can attach the clock handles, and you can use this circle, the stitch circle in the center as the reference, and you can decide what time you want to be on your clock. I'm gonna do the minute one first. and then the hour one. Just overlap the circles, the openings. My huge punch does not reach that far into the circle, so I'm just going to use my pocket tool and press into it carefully to make a hole. And now we can put the bread through here. Finishes this off nicely. Okay, all this work, but it was definitely worth it. Look at this clock. For our poinsettia, first I shaped the petals or the leaves on the green one. We're using that as the leaf layer. So just rolling it over my finger, or you can use something rounded to roll over it, and then press in the center. That creates the shape, and the same on the petals on the red layer. This paper has a bit of a texture to it, so it looks very pretty, almost kind of realistic. And then we can glue them together, so the smaller petals onto the larger one, and then onto the leaves layer. For the center, we have this little piece die cut from gold, so that goes right there. This makes such a beautiful element you can use on cards, you can use on your scrapbook pages, and you can use on the tags. For the front of the card, I already attached our embossed with the frame ivory layer onto the gold cardstock, and I also attached it to the 3mm foam on the back. First, I always kind of lay everything out to give me an idea of what the elements are going to look like, where they're going for the placement. And I love making this kind of collage effect cards. And this one looks so like vintage inspired because of the colors that we're using, because of the textures and all of the elements. Look how gorgeous this is. So the stitched ribbon die is going to go right here, and then we're going to have the house and the tree behind it. The reason we have our postage stamp is actually not to use it as a whole layer. We're going to use just the bottom part. I'm going to go ahead and cut about 1/2 inch from here, and this will be a border under the stitched ribbon, and then we'll have winter branches going here and more tucked in, so you can see how it all kind of comes together. Beautiful. Okay, so before we start putting things together, there's one more thing I need to do. I need to stamp the sentiment, and the sentiment I'm going to use again from the Holiday Smiles clear stamp set. It has hedgehogs, but the sentiments are quite nice to use on any of your projects. And for this card, I'm going to use one that says Season's Greetings. I already have it on my acrylic block. I think I'm going to stamp it about 1 inch from the left side. The color of this embossing powder seems to be perfect for all of our gold elements that we have on the card. So I'm going to take a mental note where things are going, and then I'm going to start gluing one thing at a time. I'm going to position the star wreath so most of my stars are showing on the front here, and then I can cut off the excess from the back. Now my layer is the sentiment, about 1/2 inch from the bottom. I can tuck in the Christmas tree behind our border, just a tiny bit right here. and then the house is going to go in front of it, and I'm going to put it just a tiny bit of it on the top of the border for more dimension, for more kind of layering effect. Then the roof goes on top here. Now I have positioned my clock about 1/4 of an inch from the left side, from the embossed line, and then center it top and bottom. And I'm not gluing it just yet because I have my deer coming from under it. So I'm pulling the deer to see where she's gonna go. Then I can go ahead and glue her on. The clock can go on. For our poinsettia, I'm going to attach it right onto the side of the clock. And then we have the branches we can tuck under. So I'm positioning the pine needles first. Then I can see where I want to tuck in the branches. This winter branches die is one of our older dies. Is one of our actually first dies. I think we released it first Christmas when we started with the dies in our product range. So it's been probably 8-9 years or something like that. And I am using it a lot this year in combination with our newer dies. It's just such a nice filler kind of element for all of your Christmas and winter projects. So now this is done, the front layer is done, and we can go ahead and put it on our card. Look how gorgeous that is. I just can't get over how beautiful this kind of modern, vintage inspired card turned out. I love, as I mentioned, I just love the collage kind of effects, just layering different elements, different shapes, different colors, different textures, and everything comes together so nicely. And this card is in the bigger size, so it's like a gift in itself, and especially with the pockets that we have going on the inside. I'm just gonna hold this a little longer to make sure it's all attached securely to the card. Just love this cream and soft gold and metallic gold and brushed gold with the chipboard. It just has so much, and then this pop of color with the red poinsettia just looks amazing. Now let's go ahead and glue this layer inside of our card. So you can see you can slide in little tags on each side or little notes, or you can do one big one will go across the whole thing. It just gives you so many options here. The gift cards can go on one side or both sides, and then the beautiful front. I'm just so happy with the way this card turned out. I hope you like it. And this is the end of our day 8 tutorial. If you're gonna make this card, make sure you share on our Facebook and our Facebook group. I love seeing what you all are making. Don't forget to comment on the video for a chance to win one of 3 $50 gift certificates to our online store. Don't forget to use coupon code if you're shopping Advent 2021 when you're shopping at lalalandcraft.com. It's valid on all of the La La Land Crafts products, and you can use it through all the way through December 25th through the Christmas day. And this is all for me for today. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you back tomorrow for day 9. Bye for now. Much love.